My mind's telling me no, but my body is also telling me no. I am staring down what could be the final months of my marriage. Oh, r/true off my chest, you never hesitate to bring the feels. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. I, 30 male, and my wife, 30 female, have been in a wonderful relationship for the past 11 years. We are college sweethearts and have been through so much together, from living in multiple cities to eloping and dealing with our pissed off friends and families together, to seeing each other through the death of loved ones, to getting our first and second cats together. We lived our second childhoods together, as we like to call it, and have had the most loving relationship that I could ever ask for. Honestly, it sounds idyllic, OP. Where did it all go so wrong? Well, earlier this year, it all came crashing down for me. This year, my wife came out to me as polyamorous. Ooh, and told me that it was just something that she was learning about herself. What? This ain't what you signed up for. Hard no, line in the sand. You can have your polyamorous relationship or you can have me. That's the way that this needs to go. I felt taken aback by it, and I felt all sorts of insecurities. Am I not enough? Is this relationship a joke to you? Why do you feel the need to go out and bang other people? Of course, I didn't say any of these things to her. You should have, though. I instead tried to remain calm and discuss the topic with her. You might be able to talk your way through it, talk your way past it, but yeah, I think this whole conversation needs to start with a hard no. We're not doing it. You can go do that. I'm not being involved in that. She told me that it wasn't something she necessarily had the energy to pursue, but that it was a side of her that she was interested in exploring. Eventually. See? She's testing the waters right now. She's trying to open the door, and OP has convinced himself that, yeah, if I open the door, it's gonna be fine. We can tell from the title that it's not going to be fine. That gave me some relief because at least I felt like I would have time to process everything with her and learn more about this lifestyle of polyamory and maybe challenge myself to see that if I learned a bit more, then maybe everything would be okay. Bro. You need to respect yourself and to know your limits. I'm sure there's people gearing up even in the comments like, ReddX, that's a valid lifestyle choice. And I'm like, yeah, for you. This is not something I would ever be involved in, and I know that. After wife told me we were talking about polyamory and what that might look for us every now and then on date nights, ugh, you've already started to embrace it. I hate this, dude. I was always uncomfortable talking about it because in truth, I just want her. I don't think about other partners every time I think about her. I want her and only her. Why can I not be enough? If she truly is polyamorous and wants other people in her, doesn't that imply that I was never enough? Anyway, I entertain the idea because, well, she's always been bi, and there was always part of me that felt guilty for trapping her in a hetero relationship. Trapped her, bro? It's not like you chained her to the radiator or something like that. She made the decision to be in this relationship just like you did. You're really letting your guilt get to you. And because you couldn't hold strong, yeah, the fallout is gonna be so heavy. You see, I was her first and only, and sometimes I wonder if part of her feels like her queerness never got to be expressed because of that, so maybe this could work. Dude, this is such a disaster already. What are you doing? And hey, it's not like it's realistic to expect that neither of us would ever feel attraction to any sort of someone else. It's just about whether it's acted on or not. See, deep down, you've got the right idea, OP. This could have just been an awkward conversation, but you're getting on board even though you really don't want to be on board because you feel guilty. And then your whole marriage falls apart because of that. It's just mind-boggling to me. I have no idea how to process this. The months pass, and we both learn more about polyamory and what that can look like. We like the idea of a mono/poly hierarchical relationship. Oh, so you still don't get to go out and like get any play? It's just she brings you home some sloppy seconds. God, I hate it. Even like the thought of this makes me want to puke. And I stupidly think, yeah, our love is so strong. I'll definitely learn to want this eventually. I'll be the primary partner and I'll always come first. Bro, biggest bro moments in history. I believe her when she says that because she's only ever been 100% there for me through thick and thin, but inside I am worried because if she finds another, then won't she stop being there for me 100%? Yeah, that's how percentages work, bro. I tell her my fears and she comforts me, telling me that I'm the love of her life and she's not going anywhere. But then again, if she wants to see other people, then isn't she going somewhere? Yeah, and you're letting it happen. You're just sitting on your hands because you think this is what's gonna make it all better. It might if you're both on board, but you're obviously not, so I don't know how you could allow this to continue. I love her so much and I want to believe her, but I find myself dying inside whenever consensual non-monogamy or polyamory is brought up. You need to pump the brakes, man. File the divorce paperwork. Get yourself out of this situation. I started reading all the propaganda out there by people in polyamorous relationships. Oh, it's so ethical. Monogamists don't even know how to communicate. Most one-on-one marriages will fail because we're not evolved enough for that. We just have so much love to give. Propaganda, I think, is the perfect word for this. I start telling myself all of those sweet nothings and denying myself the right to want monogamy. I can't help but think in some ways you played yourself here, OP. Monogamy was the status quo. You're the one that allowed it to slip. She might have got into it herself, filed the divorce, stuff like that, but at least you'll know that you didn't like help edge her into it, right? Anyways, the thing is, I believe my wife when she tells me that she would prioritize me. The problem is that I don't want that. I don't want someone to come by and take her away from me, ever. I don't want some a-hole to call themselves her partner because I want to be the only one. I've given her all of myself, and she's always given all of herself to me, and I'm here making myself feel selfish for not wanting to share. Screw me. I don't know if there's gonna be much time for screwing OP anymore. Wifey's gonna be out there pretty busy, right? She belongs to the streets, bro. It's time to let go, man. All this came to a head one day when she finally came to me with what I didn't want to hear. She had developed feelings for someone else and wanted to tell me about it for transparency. Oh my God. How did you not like shove a pillow over her face or something? I mean, in all reality, OP probably braced himself for this. You know that intercourse and feelings are closely intertwined, so of course this happened eventually. Strange dude ain't a proven bet like OP, but he's new and exciting, and apparently wifey thinks she can have her cake and eat it too. You shouldn't go along with any of this, dude. Especially when you're so uncomfortable regarding it. So she assured me that she hadn't acted on her feelings and that person doesn't know, and she doesn't have to take it any further than I'm comfortable. We're past that point, you idiot. But I get a panic attack and start having visions of her leaving me. We talk a lot and she spends a lot of time comforting me, and we agree to see a poly-friendly therapist who can guide us through what we're going through. Jesus Christ, man. This is why I always say you can't give 100% of yourself in a relationship. I love you so much, I give you 90% of my love, but I'm always saving 10% for me, just in case something like this happens. I don't completely crumble if the other person decides to walk away. I don't think a therapist is gonna help. I think the therapist is gonna buy into the wife's delusion and try and get the husband on board, which he's very clearly not. I don't even know how it got this far. So we go see the therapist, and she points out that we have a wonderful relationship, but our communication's broken down. My wife had agreed that we wouldn't do anything with polyamory this year, and well, right, I'll give you a year to come to grips with it. And then, like it or not, it's happening. Forget this, man. I am so out. And while she hasn't acted on anything, telling me was basically asking me to move things forward. Oh, you just picking that up. The second she brought it up, you should have shut it down. It would have never been brought up again. But you feel guilty for suppressing this part of her life, which is something that she chose? The mental gymnastics. Good God. I eventually break down and confess that I don't want any of this, and that I hadn't been allowing myself to be okay with wanting the beautiful relationship that we already have, or had. It's a tough conversation that the therapist guides us through, and eventually we decide to put a formal pause on the polyamory talks. No, not pause. Eject the tape. Burn that thing. Ugh, my life had been suffering because of a lot of losses simultaneously. My best friend decided to stop being friends with me because she was jealous of my wife. My workplace laid off my best friends and only left me behind. And my grandmother died. Bro, maybe this wife is like far more of an evil mastermind than I ever thought. She found you when you're in a down position. She probably pushed your best friend away. And I ain't saying that she offed your grandmother, okay? But, I mean, just think about it. I haven't been sleeping well, and I've been gaining weight. I just need my life to be stable for a little bit. I do find that there's a lot of stability in being alone, but you need to come to grips with that, I guess. We all eventually agree that it's best that we take a few months to work on our communication and to help me move on from a lot of the losses I've been experiencing. She promises that we can go as slow as we need to, and then I can have more time if I want. She won't act on any of her feelings and promises to treat this topic as delicately and sparsely as she can. But she also admits that being poly is something that she needs because she has so much love to give. All right, then divorce proceedings carry on. I guarantee you she'll get back out there into the dating world and be terrified. Meanwhile, I'll find somebody who values me as much as I value them, you know? You've wasted 11 years, OPS. It's time to not waste anymore. Pick up, move on, you learned a lot, you'll be better for it. So yeah, we'll be monogamous for a few more months while I get my stuff together, I guess. The thing is that she has been so wonderful to me, and we have had such a beautiful life together. I don't want anyone else but her, and I want her all to myself. I can have her for a few more months, and I'm afraid that when those months pass, and it's time to revisit this conversation, I'll be changed and learn to be okay with this. I'll be okay and watch the world we slowly built together fade. Watch her walk away from me as I stop being the only one in her life. The thing is, I already stopped being that to her the moment that she figured out she was poly. My relationship with her, as I know it, had already ended, and I'm staring down our final months as a monogamous couple. Well, it sounds like you're starting to check out, which I think is the way to go. Because if this is really something that she chooses, you can't stop her from it. All you can really do is pack your stuff up and say, hey, thanks for the laughs. Now I'm out. I'm trying to hold myself together and be a better husband and partner despite all of this. If I'm gonna be let down in the end, I might as well have the best freaking last months with her as I know it. Well, that doesn't sound like checking out. I guess enjoying the last few months could be fine, but you gotta admit when it's time to go. And it's pretty clear from this post that it is indeed time to go. This could all work out, or it couldn't. Either way, my marriage as I knew it is essentially over. There's something else there now in its place, and I never wanted this, but it's what I get. Please do not tell me that you're about to settle for this. I feel so bad for this dude, man. Part of me prays that if I ever entertain this poly crap a few months from now, that she starts dating and realizes that dating frickin' sucks and never mind, I'm not poly. I was just being silly. Even then, you think things are gonna go back to the way that they were? No. This relationship is irreparably damaged and it's time to go. All of that is just a fantasy, of course. I've only got a few months left with her, and then us, as we knew it, is done. We will be something else. Maybe it can be better, but I get this nagging feeling that I'll have to learn to let go already. She has so much love to give, and one day, I won't be the only one. And maybe it'll be over. I'm broken, but I know that this isn't necessarily the end. Honestly, dude, man, brubba, look me in the eyes right now. It is over. It is the end. It's time to let go. This is not something you want. I don't think this is something that you learn to be okay with or get pushed into out of guilt or losing your grandma or your best friend. Like, she approached you in a very vulnerable position as far as I'm concerned and took advantage of you. You might have built a lovely life together over 11 years, but now she's showing her true colors. And it's time to believe her on that. We do get an update. Thank you for all your comments, advice, and kind words. After reading a lot of what you've had to say, I decided that at the very least, I should be honest with myself by being honest with her about what I want. Hey, there's some communication peeking through. Maybe it's not all over. It should be, though. I still think it should be. I talked to her, and I reiterated that I want to be with her, and I don't want her to see anyone else, and that any changes to our relationship dynamic has to be discussed and enthusiastically consented to and reaffirmed regularly. I asked her to confirm with me that we're monogamous right now, and she said yes. She said I'm her partner for life, and the one she wants to be with. You know what that actually means, though, OP. She just wants you to keep paying the bills. That's your role now. I can't do it. I can't do it. I apologize to her. No. She needs to apologize to you for not being clear earlier about my discomfort, and we decided to hit the reset button on all of this during the pause. Y'all still haven't hit the eject button. Come on, I'm waiting. I asked her to cut off ties with that person that she has feelings for, and while she was saddened by this, she asked me to trust that she would do it and not bring that person up again. Bro, she ain't gonna do it. She told me that she wants to choose me even if it's painful right now, and that she can't promise that she won't resent me over this, but would let me know if that happens. Oh, thank you so much. You know she's gonna walk up a month later and be like, I resent you. I'd be like, so what? Are you in or out? You can stay, you can go. I don't really care. After what she put you through, my dude, come on. You didn't even get an apology from her? Ugh. Part of me likes to think that, maybe she actually didn't know. Maybe OP kept it all buried deep down, but I really think that that's impossible. He showed signs, I'm sure, of not being happy, and she chose to ignore those signs. You all are right. Our relationship isn't poly in any form unless we're both in it 100%, because poly relationships require honest communication and consent, not unlike monogamous relationships. The point being, your relationship is what you both enthusiastically consent to, and anything less than complete and utter consent is unethical and harmful. So you see that what she did to you was unethical and harmful, right? Or I guess what you did to yourself if there really were no signs. Ugh, we both had a hand in this and are working to be better to ourselves and to each other. I am shocked, honestly. This feels like completely irreparable. To be clear, I left out in my original post that she told me she would be okay with me seeing other people and would be happy for me, but I had told her repeatedly over the last few months that I don't like the idea of seeing anyone else because I have everything I could want and more with her. So why would I go out and look? Bro, OP is the realest. Honestly, I think he should dump this broad and find somebody that can actually value him. He probably does need to be like a bit more forward and upfront when he's uncomfortable with something, instead of trying to convince himself that cuckoldry might not be that bad. But at least she was like, yeah, you can go out and get it too. I thought Monopoly was like, she's locking you dingle dangle up under the sink or something like that. And it's not all that bad. It's still pretty bad, but it's not that bad. At least not yet. I love my wife and I love our relationship. I want all the good and the bad, and growing together is what gives me the most satisfaction. And I don't care for new relationship. I want old relationship energy. I want to love her more every day. I don't want to just deal with her crap because it's her and not anyone else. I want us to actually make joyous memories together. Well, meet her at the Motel 6 with a camcorder and hide in the closet. Surely that will be a cherished memory. I don't understand how you're still doing this. I understand a decade, blah, 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 but when you gotta go, you gotta go. It pained me every time she implied or stated that dating other people is okay. And I had to specifically tell her to stop saying that I am allowed to date others outside of our therapy sessions because it felt like coercion, which it is. And she apologized and agreed that she was just overly excited and being inconsiderate. I told her multiple times, and I hope that she sticks to her word. Bro, this is all such a farce. She's like, here, you can have this free pass. I don't want it, but you should take the free pass so I can get a free pass too. I don't want it. This is over, dude. It might have all been wound back if you nipped it in the bud. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, no matter how bad you try to save it, the whole relationship's a death knell, okay? She also admitted to me that sometimes she mourns all that she could have had. Go out there and get it. I don't need you. I'm starting to think OP is just like a hardcore simp. How can you let something like that get thrown in your face and not bite back? What are you doing? I asked her if that meant that she would have wanted to swap the life we had for something else, and she said, no. And she meant that she sometimes mourns a different life, like a curiosity. But I didn't quite buy that. Yeah, it's pretty obvious what she's doing here, dude. She said that she loves the life we had together while simultaneously mourning what could have been, and that mourning is only sometimes. Is any of that supposed to make me feel better? I told her I never mourn the past because that's what makes me me today. All the good and all the bad. I told her that the life we've lived and continue to live together is the brightest light and the strongest pillar in my life, and wishing for anything else feels dishonest and untrue to me. She agreed that it was similar for her, but she still wonders anyway. Oh my god, man. OP can't check out, but she's already checked out. This is the end of this relationship. I don't care if she's trying to pretend she's okay with it, blah, blah, blah. Time to let her go, dude. Like I said, she belongs to the streets. While I know this isn't a time limit, it still feels like one. Oh, it's definitely a time limit, OP. I don't know if or when she'll come to resent me or our relationship because of a need to see what's out there, or I guess more kindly, explore love in others. An irony is that her sister was dumped by an ex because he wanted to see what's out there, and we laughed at his stupidity years ago, and I feel like that's happening in slow motion for me. I'm telling you, dude, let her go. Let her go see what's out there. She will come to mourn the 11 years that she spent with you, but by that point, you will have moved on with somebody who actually gives a damn about what you want in a relationship. And yes, she does deserve to be happy despite her interesting life choices, okay? But the real rub that I have here is that the status quo for this marriage was monogamy. If you're trying to change that, then I have every right to get out of this relationship as it suits me. Like I said, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Oy. So that being said, I feel at a minimum that I got to put my foot down both for her and for myself. That wasn't your whole foot. That's your little twinkle toes. I'm prepared for the worst to come while hoping for the best. I still want us to work out because what we have is too precious to just toss away. Call me an idiot, but I'm willing to try, and if her need to love others supersedes her need for me, then so be it. I'll be ready either way. OP, you're an idiot. The threat of the end doesn't mean that I have daily despair. It can mean a reason to take every day with grace and gratitude, and that's how I'll choose to move forward. I mean, you are taking it fairly gracefully, but gratitude for what? That she didn't run off with this other dude? You want to go, then go. I don't know, man. This whole post tore my soul apart. Thank you, truly, everyone. I feel the love and support from all of you. Maybe in a few months, I'll let you know how it all goes. It's going to be a disaster. I already know. You don't even have to tell me. She's into this one thing, you're way not into it. And because you're guilty, you open the door far too wide. And now you can't get it closed again. If that's really what she wants, then yeah, that's fine. But it's time for me to go, if that's the case. Let's check out a few of those comments. Kazapone says, this sounds ridiculous on her part. Yeah, to say the least. Definitely don't settle for anything that you don't want to be a part of. And that is part of the reason that I lost sympathy for OP. Because he kept choosing the worst possible choice for himself every single time. Fed Escape says, I second this. Been there, done that. It ended up in divorce. You can't compromise who you are for someone else. You gotta be upfront. Is this something that she wants and you don't? If yes, then just split up before the jealousy and resentment set in. I think that is the right way to go. I don't know why we're holding on to this dumpster fire so hard. Yeah, you had 11 great years. That time is over now. It's time to move on to the next. Virtual Choir Boy says, first, I'm incredibly sorry for what you've been going through this year. From what you posted, the universe has been pretty unfair to you and you deserve better. Unfortunately, I don't have much hope that better is in your future. Oh boy, coming out of the gate spicy. You said, my relationship with her as I know it has already ended. I think that's the point that you need to truly consider accepting. The marriage is over. She will be moving on to something new, and you, obviously, will not like that new thing. So it would probably be smart to take some time to start preparing for the separation that is coming your way. Split the finances, figure out who gets what car, and get them in the appropriate person's name, and most importantly, start figuring out where you're gonna live once she decides that her choices are going to override the marriage. Yeah, think about who gets to keep the cats. Actually, let her keep the cats. She's gonna need them. You said I'm gonna be let down in the end. It might as well be the best last months as I know it. With what you posted about what she said, you will be let down in the end, and this won't work out. I think it's past time to be clear with her that her wanting a poly relationship means that she can't have you. Period. It's either or. For her, there is no having her cake and eating it too. Oh, that's what I said. It's either monogamy with you or polyamory with others. If she tries to force you into polyamory with her, the only thing she'll get is constant resentment and destruction of trust from you. Unfortunately, it sounds like she's made up her mind that you two are no longer compatible, and I am truly sorry for your loss. As I said above, instead of trying to make these next few months the best, take these next few months while things are still okay and work on splitting your lives apart. Develop that exit strategy so that when the time finally comes, you have the ability to walk away and be completely stable, which was something that OP was asking for in his post, right? I know you don't want to do it, but for your safety, your sanity, and your future well-being, I really think that you need to. Virtual Choir Boy coming in here, MVP, dropping some hard truths. With the way OP beats around the bush, even with somebody he's been married to for 11 years, I don't know if he's going to be able to pick up those hard truths or apply them. But yeah, there's no use in trying to force a second honeymoon. If you see the train coming down the tracks, move half your stuff out the way. and then let her get obliterated by the train, I hope. Reply to that, new username, same error. OP, seriously, what are the odds of this working out for you? What is the best case scenario, and would you even be happy with it? In a couple of months, things are gonna get real weird. I love that. Don't stick your head in the sand and hope it all goes away. Be proactive and ready to walk away when she starts doing something that you are uncomfortable with. And she will. Then, when she sets up a situation that makes her happy, you can decide if you even want to come back and find your place in the group. Nah. You might enjoy waiting around for her to finish with her new preferred partner and see if she really does have all this extra love to give you some sloppy seconds. Ugh. Oh God, even the thought of it, I can't. Probably came across a little bit harder than it needed to, honestly. That's how I know OP ain't gonna take this advice to heart. He could be like, oh, you just don't understand. Here, read these propaganda vlogs that helped me to come to grips with it. Ugh, or at least pretend that I came to grips with it. PP says this is hard because being polyamorous is something that both parties should be into before anyone starts seeking outside affection. What she's describing isn't a marriage, it's an open dating situation, and it will never, ever work if both people aren't okay with it. I wonder how she'd feel if you had suggested this polyamory idea and how hurt she'd be at the thought of possibly losing you to someone else. I'm sure that's all been covered in therapy, but still, relationships hinge on how you make the other person feel about themselves when they're with you. That's how I feel about it anyway. Sorry you're going through this. I wish I had something comforting to say. You've handled this with amazing grace and maturity, and I really hope things work out for you. She probably would be hurt if he decided to pursue other people because she wants to be the center of the universe, at least from what I could tell. But even that type of caring is born out of selfishness instead of a need to have that other person in your life and care for them deeply. I really do like the thought as well that relationships do hinge on how you make the other person feel about themselves. Wifey always says, like, I'm your mirror, you know? You make me feel beautiful, then I'm beautiful. And I think that is 100% the way that it goes, whether you can verbalize it or not. And the whole time in this post, I'm thinking about wifey, you know, I love her so much. But if this situation did pop up, I'd pack my bags. I would be on the next plane out of here because while we got kids and dogs and a life, you obviously didn't choose those things. You chose a life of hedonism and thought that it would all turn out okay. This whole video isn't to come after polyamory in any way, shape, or form. It is to encourage drawing a line in the sand, having open communication, and standing up for what you believe in within your relationships. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching, friends. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. If you did enjoy, Merry Christmas! Let me know what Santa brought you. Check out the links in the description, of course. Thank you to my supporters, Patreon, and YouTube channel members. And of course, always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, friends, bye-bye.